So maybe you use Pinterest, or maybe you don't, or maybe you just never realized what a great tool it can be for information professionals. This presentation is a little glimpse into how Pinterest can be helpful to us as librarians and as library people. It starts because librarians are full of ideas, and we're always looking for ways to share those ideas and to discover more. But keeping track of all those ideas can be a bit overwhelming. And that's where Pinterest comes in. Say you found a great article on libraryjournal.com and you want to remember it for later? Pin it. Pinterest lets you create boards full of images that are linked to web content. That way, all those cool library infographics you found can be collected in one place. But Pinterest isn't just great for collecting ideas you found yourself. It's also great for browsing ideas other people have collected. Say you want to browse through some library design images. Searching Pinterest boards for library design is a great way to go because unlike Google image search, Pinterest boards are personally collected and curated by identifiable parties. So if I decide to take a look at this specific board, I know that every pin on it has been personally pinned and described by the Australian Library and Information Association. So that gives me results that are a lot more relevant to what I'm looking for, and they have a lot more context. And you can also browse Pinterest for any number of library ideas. So you might find inspiration to start a little free library, or you might see an idea for a teen contest to see who can name a book title based on quote snippets they can see through a jar. Pinterest is also full of great promotional ideas, from infographics that advocate the importance of libraries, to just plain awesome posters, or book display ideas. And the great thing about all of these things being on Pinterest is that Pinterest is social. That means you can build connections with other pinners who pin things that you like by following them. Then the things that they pin will show up in your personalized feed. But wait, you think, librarians aren't the only ones on Pinterest. Patrons are there too, so how can I connect with them? One of the most popular things to do is a reader's advisory board. And here's an example from the New York Public Library of a board called What NYPL is Reading. So you can see every pin on this board is a book that's been personally recommended by a librarian, and each pin has a picture of the book jacket and a short quote from the book, so it's really eye-catching and it's very easily scannable, and even better, when you click on the pin for a book, it takes you to that book's location in the library catalog. So in a matter of seconds, you can see a book you want and place it on hold. You can also create more targeted readers advisory boards. So here's some examples from the Kansas City Public Library. They have a board just for Missouri fiction. You see they have one for mysteries. They even have a board that's just suggestions for people who liked the Hunger Games series. So with all those book lovers out there, maybe you think that you, as a librarian, could encourage people to start a book club. Here's an example from the Pinal County Library of a board called Book Club Kits. Each pin in this board is a book they recommend using for a book club meeting. And when you click on the pin, you're taken to a post on their blog that contains other resources you can use to enhance your reading and discussion of the book. And if you're thinking that you'd rather get people to come to the library for the book club, Pinterest is good for that too. It can be a great way to get the word out about library events. So here's an example of a pin from the New York Public Library events board. And when they pin this flyer for their event calligraphic inscriptions, everyone who follows that board, which is a not too shabby number of people, I might add, is going to see this pin in their Pinterest feed. And you can also include other kinds of media. So here's an example from Kansas City Public Library again, on their events board where they pinned a video ad for one of their events. And the video is embedded, so all the other pinners have to do is click play. And here's a taste. So you can see, even though they have kind of a somewhat questionable choice of font color, in my opinion, it's still a really great way to share dynamic content and to get people engaged on a platform that a lot of them are already using. So the key here is engagement. With Pinterest, you can really start to build a sense of engagement with an online community of patrons or other professionals by browsing and sharing ideas. And Pinterest lets others comment on your pins, repin your things to their own boards, or share your pins on Facebook with just one click. So, those are just a few of the ways Pinterest can become a way of power browsing for library people.